89. Yeah, I mean, come on now. Let's be honest with ourselves. We knew that audience score was going to be high. Even if this movie was like super bad, audience, a lot of fans are still going to be okay with it. It's FNAF. They've gone through years of the games going weird and mixed up stories and good games, bad games. Like, these fans were going to give it these kind of reviews. I'm curious to read like some of the negative reviews they got going on in here. Let's see. Let's see if we can read any of these. So 5-star. Let's look for any 3-star ones. Okay, this was a fun movie. Not very scary or graphic. It was appropriate for my 11-year-old who also loves this franchise. Fair take, fair take. Let's look for another low-star review. See what that says. I wonder if we'll ever find a fan of one. See, a lot of good 5 stars, which is great. I'm glad. Oh, what the heck? That's it? No, why won't it let me see more? I want to see more. All audiences. Okay. We have here kind of boring, to be honest. Not scary in the slightest. Okay. I don't know about the boring. I think if you're a fan, you know, the boring parts, I'm just like, it's slow going, but not scary at all. That's very true. It's really just not scary. It's not a horror movie, okay? Without knowledge or history of the games, one was left wondering what was happening on screen. And yeah, if I didn't know anything about FNAF, I think I'd be on that side of like, I just didn't have a good time. It felt so random. Things were just happening left and right. What's going on? But having a basic knowledge of FNAF let me know, okay, that's why that's happening. This is about to happen. Then it's going to go here. Oh, they did that. That's awesome. And yeah, so that's very true for people who just don't know anything. Let's see here. I'm trying to go more into some of these slightly negative reviews. See what people have said. Okay, here we have such a disappointment. I played the games, waited for a long time for this moment. The animatronics were excellent, but the plot didn't make sense. But it was too much like Willy's Wonderland, but nowhere near as good. What a shame. Couldn't have been more gory. Willy's Wonderland getting the praise? Take that in your face, Freddy. I'm wiggling my willy. Yeah, man, that I don't know what he means by like too much like Willy's Wonderland. Like what does that even mean? I didn't think it was at all like Willy's Wonderland. I think if you didn't know what FNAF was and all you knew from the trailers was, okay, killer robots, Chuck E. Cheese place, you expect a movie like Willy's Wonderland where it's just a guy fighting these animatronics trying to survive and them killing people. You go into Five Nights at Freddy's and these animatronics, yeah, they have one scene where they kill a few people, but for a good chunk of the movie, they're cuddly, they're friendly, they're building a fort, they're being kind of adorable, and they're very easy to kill. Like, when we got to the parts of the movies where the animatronics were stunned, I was like, wow, that was pretty simple. These guys aren't really a threat. I can understand why people would be like, what? Yeah, not gory at all. That's going to disappoint some people. We got half a star here. I'd give this movie no stars if it were possible. It completely ruins the Freddy franchise. I was waiting for Krueger to jump scare me at the end. Nothing. Complete waste of my time. Why call it Five Nights at Freddy's if he's not even in the film? Oh my goodness, this is a joke review. It's a fake one. I recommend not seeing this movie. The whole thing screams false advertising. Look here, Christopher Lee. We take our audience scores very seriously. And over here, putting up a joke review, shame on you, man. Shame on you. No. We're not going to do that here. All right, let's go here. First, some praise. The animatronics look perfect, with Chica and Foxy in particular unsettling me more than they ever did in the games. I highly respect the broad use of practical effects rather than relying on CGI for them. The pizzeria set itself was also faithful and accurately captured the atmosphere of Freddy's. This movie reeks of missed potential. Most of the acting is rather disjointed and feels rather phoned in to be fair. Let's see. Oh God, it's a long. We'll power through. To be fair to the actors, though, they were given poor material with an abundance of unproductive dialogue. Even though the animatronics themselves were rendered gloriously, they were given little opportunity to actually be frightening. Yeah. The largest problem is pacing. The plot's central driving force is almost wallery irrelevant to the pizzeria itself. That's kind of true. Or it would be if... Thank you so much there, Tom Breaker 27 YouTube. Or it would be if there weren't a rather shoehorned in plot twist, in quotes, because it wasn't particularly surprising. That's the problem, too, is there's plot twists and mystery, but if you're a fan, you know the mystery, and there's like one thing you might not know with like Vanessa or Mike, you know, if you saw the movie, but like for the most part it's like really obvious. For a newcomer, it just feels like a random reveal instead of an earned plot twist. The movie fundamentally misunderstands what made the original game so appealing. An adaptation of a game that builds its atmosphere from minimal dialogue and prolonged isolation should not have been such an extensive character interaction that the tense of solitude is entirely lost. An adaptation of the game with such unique presentation shouldn't have been the most bland cinematography I've seen in recent memory. Well, I kind of like the cinematography, but I understand. An adaptation of the game for which is the greatest strength was building tension should not have wallowed devoid of tension. Okay, I definitely understand where they're coming from. And I've seen a lot of FNAF fans online mention like they really just should have adapted the first game only, stuck to the atmosphere of just having like one guy go to work, have the cameras, and then, you know, be scared of them coming and getting him, and turn it almost into like a one type of place movie where like, yeah, it's called Five Nights at Freddy's, but maybe just a one day thing from 6 a.m. to 12 or whatever when he gets off his shift. That could have worked. I think they just really wanted to bring in the lore and stuff, and they just forgot about what made that first game popular with fans, getting them scared. Because, again, from a newcomer coming in, you expect Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, all these animatronics to be the villains, the bad guys. But as a fan, you understand they're actually the victims. They're actually almost in a weird way the good guys. Freddy and them, they're not really the people you should be afraid of. It's William Afton. So the guy you are afraid of and should be scared of, he's given so little to do in the movie. It's kind of just disjointed. How long is this one? Okay. Fun, yes. Would I see it again? No. This is one of those movies where plot comes out of nowhere and left me thinking, what? So often. I can see the potential, and I've always loved FNAF, but I wish they leaned into the camp sort of humor that lies behind the absurdity of what's happening on screen. I think it almost takes itself too seriously. That being said, I think this small movie needs an unrated cut similar to what Megan did. An unrated cut I would rate higher, or even just as a 6-part TV show, this would have worked better. Interesting review. Like I said, if it was rated R, would have gone with a lot of people. Would have gone up. Let's read like 2 more, and then we'll move on here. Oh, yo sé español. Let me read. Pénsame que hizo una prueba. This, I don't know if this is Spanish. This might be Portuguese or something else. Okay, I just embarrassed myself. Let's move forward. Let's see here. What else? I'm just trying to look. And again, all these positive reviews are here for a reason, okay? I'm not just sticking to the negatives to be an a-hole. I just want to see if there's fans who are honest sometimes about not what they like. You should definitely listen to these fans who gave it 5 stars. There's way more of them. Here we have Snooze Fest. If you're over 17, unnecessarily and uninteresting changes from the lore. The game didn't need to follow the lore, but it feels like it tried hard to please both fans and newcomers. Lame kills and jump scares were slow. I also agree with that. While Scott and Jason Blum kept saying, this is for the fans, it's for the fans, and it very much is, the movie still feels like it was trying to please a little bit of the newcomers. They should have just leaned in to Matthew Lillard, William Afton being the bad guy from the very beginning. Because if you're watching this as a newcomer and don't know anything about William Afton, the movie plays it like he's a twist reveal, like he's a mysterious villain. So that when he takes off the spring Bonnie mask at the end of the movie, you're like supposed to go, oh, what? The career counselor? Who could have seen that? It's very obvious when there's like 3 other adult characters in the movie. Of course. And the man's acting so mischievous when he's telling Mike about the job. He's like, yes, it's a creepy place. And the owner, he just can't let it go. And it's like, it's so obvious there's something wrong with this guy and something's happening between them. You shouldn't have treated it like a reveal or like a mystery at all. You just should have just been honest. This guy's a bad guy and he's lurking in the background and whatnot. I think it was a missed opportunity to treat it that way for newcomers.